So what is going on today? Today it's pretty late. It's like 10 p.m. right now. I just finished editing an episode for a client, and I just finished editing a podcast for a client, and I'm currently going to be helping him design the thumbnail for that exact video. Now, normally my thumbnails aren't anything super complicated, right? I just have templates that I work with, but I'm just gonna walk you through basically what it is that I do. Maybe I should show you a little bit more. There you go. So first thing I do is I go to Adobe Express. They have a what would you call it? They have it is a software that I basically use to remove the background for whatever image I put in there. So first thing that, actually before that, the first thing I do is I take screenshots of whoever it is that I'm going to be removing from the background. For example, if I were using this image, I would take a screenshot and then I would drop the image into the software and it would just automatically remove the background, as you can see. But this isn't the exact image that I want to work with today. The image that I'm working with today is one of these ones. So we already know with podcasts, it's usually with two people. For this particular episode that I'm working with, this is one of the people that will be in the episode. So the first thing I do is I drag it into the software, Adobe Express, then I click remove background. It takes like 2 seconds, honestly. And it just removes it. I don't even have to do too much. See, AI goes crazy. And then I do a little bit of cropping, and then I might, like in this case, the microphone is still poking out from the side, kind of. So in this case, I would normally then, I would click on the brush tool and then just erase it little by little until it looks a little bit cleaner, like so. Right? Not a lot of work, to be honest. And then click download. Alright, and I'll find it in the downloads folder later on. Now I do this usually 2 to 3 more times, or I drag the screenshot in there, click remove background, this is so cool. A couple of years ago, it wasn't even this easy. Crop it out a little bit, just a bit, just to make it a little bit neater, and then finish off with a clean erasure, like so. And then we download, and that takes care of 2 images. I'm just gonna do probably this one, I think. I'm gonna go with this one. I'm gonna go with this one. Remove background. I feel like the images look pretty crisp. Sometimes they don't. And to be honest, that's a problem that I have not solved yet for why sometimes it's not crisp. But right now it's looking pretty good, pretty happy with that. Didn't even have to erase too much or even anything on there. And I would say that's good. I like this image, so I'm gonna go with that. So from there, I've now removed the background. The next thing I would normally do is download it, which I've also already done. Pull it into Canva, essentially. We'll go with this one. Delete the previous images that were there, and then drop the new ones in there, like so. Boom. Alright, so Again, Canva, I kind of like to crop it a little bit just so it's a little bit easier to work with. 1. Take out the chair from that. 2. Boom. And then I have my I have my template set so that it shows me the 3x3 grid. I like working with that so I can put the subject's eye line on the top horizontal, right? Like so. And then do the same thing with the other image. Yeah, no, this looks pretty good. This actually looks pretty decent right now. Again, align it with the top horizontal. And then I like to go to the position, what would you call it, tab. Click on it like this and drag it so that it's basically, it's below everything, except for the background, obviously. But for the most part, it's below everything. And this is step 1 of designing the thumbnail. Pretty easy, right? Next thing I like to do is I like to change the caption. So normally I have the client send me what sort of caption that they are looking for. So because it's also on my phone, I'm gonna pause the video and I'm gonna come back once I've read what the caption that they sent is. All right, so now I'm back. I already put in the title. Basically, he wanted to go with, I don't even think it's relevant, but Canadian made plus censorship, ? How we got here. So now that I put it in, I'm going to try to make it look a little bit pretty. So we got this from DOAC, to be honest. We normally, we're gonna ungroup this really quick. Normally have one part of the caption highlighted. Where is it? Now in this case, Canadian made plus censorship. Censorship is probably the key word here. How we got here. Boom. No, let's fix that. Make that look a little bit nicer. Just a bit nicer. Just a bit. So it would look like that. And then of course I gotta edit the name of the person that's in the video. It's Carpe. Oh my goodness, it's Carpe, not CarPlay. It's Carpe. But yeah, I would say that basically is most of the work already done. Oh, right, it's episode 47. Boom. Canadian made plus censorship. How we got here. Make sure everything's all aligned. I would say that looks pretty good to me. Yeah. I would say the only thing left to do Canadian censorship, I gotta put an image in the back. And we normally go with AI images, so I'm gonna go to ChatGPT for this one. Type in something like, I am designing a, well, it's all caps. I am designing a YouTube thumbnail or a podcast that talks about Canadian censorship. Give me a 16:9, so it knows the resolution, so it knows it's landscape, right? 16:9, 4K, 4K image that would be good for this thumbnail. And then I like to add, make sure to not include text, because at least as of right now, it's not good really with spelling. So to be fair, neither am I. And make sure not to include text, and that's a good place to start. We'll see what it comes up with. While it's working on that, I'm just gonna switch to the Spotify thumbnail. So I normally also provide a Spotify thumbnail as well, but it's essentially the same process, right? It's a template. First thing I do is I remove the previous person that was there, close that, and put in probably not that one, probably this one. Put in new person, crop them so that it shows more, so it's easier to work with rather. And then just make them big enough to, yeah, it looks good. Yeah, well, I like that. Move them to the back. So, center them a little bit. Might even make it a little bit bigger. Yeah. Yes. Okay, and then, so the title the client wanted for this Spotify thumbnail was JCF versus MAID, made for censorship. Like so. Position. Hold up. Wait a minute. Ooh, censorship is still probably the keyword here, so we're gonna just throw this highlight on there, like so. Boom. Now, I'm not too worried that it's not centered here because I'm going to end up cropping it anyway, but later on in the process. So I would say this is pretty much done. This one just needs an image. We're gonna go back to what is this? Okay, this is what ChatGPT gave me for Canadian censorship. They gave me a mic with a chain around it, locked up. Like, this is, you might not be able to really see. Oh, you can definitely see that. Kind of. That's hilarious. I feel like my client would honestly like it. I feel like my client would like it. So we're gonna take it, we're gonna put it in the thumbnail and see what he says. If he doesn't like it, like I can just remove it, right? It's not a big deal. But I think he might like it. So first thing I do is I'm gonna blow up the image so that it can, you know, make a good background. And then click on position, move it all the way to the back. Boom, done. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh, well, 1 second. Almost done. Wait, you can just go replace background. There you go. Boom. Bada bing. Bada boom. Just like that. I'm just gonna look over everything. It is a little bit like, what's the word? It's a bit, maybe I should move that to the tool. Like so. Kind of like that. Or do I want to move it like right here? So that the text pops a little bit, right? I think I like that. Yeah. I'm pretty cool with that, right? Might be a little bit difficult to read, though. That's the only thing. But you know, I'm sticking with this. I'm sticking with this. Yeah, and then we'll see what the client says. So from there, I just download it. Watch it drop in my downloads folder. There it is. Extract. Boom. Open it up. And basically, I just take this and I put it in Dropbox and then send it over to the client. And he can open it up, click on it, tell me over text, hey, this looks awesome, or nah, you got to do better, or do something different, right? And that's basically the workflow for designing thumbnails for a podcast client. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Yeah. So that's all for the video. Hope you enjoyed it.